Good morning, everyone. So in the last class, we are trying to discuss with our string handling concepts here. We identified how we can work with the string buffer class, and so these are the methods we identified, the purpose of each and every method. So length method, capacity method, and reverse method, as well as so we identified the append method and caret method, cutting the point. So set length and initial capacity. So this we identified inside this string buffer class. Okay, so now what we need to understand here, so today we are going to discuss so one of the important concept called collection framework here. So inside this particular collection framework here, we'll try to find out the so what are the major classes are available, and along with the major classes what are the interfaces are available. So we'll try to check with each and every interface and implementation classes. So along with our internal code, like how this particular the collection class is implemented, so that we can understand here, we can create our custom classes here. Along with that, we'll try to check with our the purpose of each implementation class here. Okay, now what I want to write here, I want to create a one more package here. So the package here, I'm going to create com dot collection framework. So this is the package I want to create here. And inside this particular package here, we are going to define the interfaces and classes information here. So first I want to create a one file here. So inside this particular file, we'll try to provide the information regarding and what are the information we are going to find from the collection information here. Okay, so basically what I want to provide the information, this particular collection overview, and here whenever we are trying to work for this particular collection framework here, so we are going to work on the group of objects here. So this particular group of objects are going to handle by the collection framework here. So in the collection framework, we'll have a different classes here. But now, what is the aim? Like what is the advantage we are going to get when we're trying to work from the collection frameworks here? Basically, so this particular collection framework is going to provide the so to handle the group of objects here. So at a time, we can handle multiple objects here. So as of now, we did not understand so how we are going to handle the group of objects here. So whatever the classes we discuss here, so far we are going to discuss, like we discuss the only one object creation here. Only one object creation here. So today we are going to understand how we can work for the multiple objects creation, and those multiple objects, how we are going to communicate with over the collection framework here, right? And here, so basically the collections are not part of the initial release here. So there's something called the original release here. So in the 1.1 onwards, the collections class are not available. So when the 1.2 is released, so they provided some of the collection classes here. So what are the collection classes they released here? The first collection classes here from the 1.2 onwards. From the 1.2 onwards, these are the main classes they released here. The first class is dictionary, and the second class here vector, and third class here stack here. Correct the point. The fourth class here properties here. So these are the main classes introduced in the 1.2 onwards here. Correct the point. So don't confuse here. So in the 1.2 onwards here, these are the four classes are introduced here. So first class is dictionary, and vector class, and stack, and properties here. So these are the four classes are introduced in the 1.2 onwards here. Getting the point. So using this particular four classes, they will try to connect with our collection framework, and they are going to provide they used to work for the multiple objects here. But after 1.5 onwards, so they provided some additional features, and later they try to create the different collection interfaces and collection classes here. Cutting the point, collection interfaces and collection classes here. So we'll try to provide the more information like what are the collection interfaces and classes are added here. Okay, basically now what we need to understand here, so how we are going to work for the vector class, and we are not going to work for the same property here. So they are going to have a unique behavior here. So understand here, the vector will have a unique behavior, and same way, so the properties also will have a unique behavior. So now you can consider here each and every the collection classes, each and every collection class will have a unique behavior. So we need to understand the unique behavior of so each implementation class here. Getting the point. Now, so basically the collection framework was designed to meet our several goals here. Getting the point. So they implemented to reach our several goals here. What are the goals there? So they are going to reach whenever we are going to work from the collection framework here. The first one, which is going to provide the high performance here. Getting the point. So when we are trying to work from the collection framework, so we used to get our high performance of the application here, because internally we'll try to connect with our dynamic arrays. Getting the point. So dynamic arrays and linked lists. So we are going to work for the trees and so hash table here. So these are the main concepts here. So dynamic arrays and linked lists, trees and hash tables here. So when if we understand the four concepts here, we can write any the custom collection framework here. Getting the point. So we need to focus on these particular four concepts here. So dynamic array, linked list, trees and hash table here. Okay, so we'll try to understand the one by one concepts here, how these particular classes are implemented. Okay, and here now what we need to understand here, each and every class will have a different types of collection work here. So as I explained here, how we are identified this dictionary and vector will have a so unique behavior. So same way the dynamic arrays and linked trees, linked list and trees and hash table. So these four classes also will have a different behavior here. So we need to understand this. So what exactly the behavior here, and along with that, the collection frameworks is built on the some of the interfaces here. Getting the point. So some of the interfaces. So as I explained here, so this particular four concepts here. So dynamic arrays and linked list, so trees and hash table. Getting the point. So these are the main concepts here. Dynamic arrays and linked list, trees and hash table. So these are the informations are implemented. Getting the point. So these are the information is implemented from so this particular classes here. The first class, linked list, hash set and tree set. Getting the point. So these are the main classes we need to understand here. So how these particular classes are implemented internally. How these particular classes are implemented internally. So along with that, so like collection framework is having another important feature called iteration here. So like using this particular iteration concept, we'll try to iterate the one by one object here. Getting the point. We'll try to iterate one by one object here. So we'll try to focus on the what are the iterator concepts we are having. So something called iterator is the one interface. So list iterate is the another interface, and in the 1.8 one more iterator is added, split iterator. So this also we'll discuss, and later we'll try to go for the like enumerations. So some of the iteration concepts we are having to iterate the object one by one to get the object one by one. Basically, the aim of the collection frameworks here, we are going to connect to with the multiple objects here. Getting the point. If we want to perform any operations here, we need to get a one by one object here. So to get in one by one object here, we'll try to connect our iterator concepts here. Getting the point. We'll try to connect our iterator concepts here. So we'll see what are the iterator concepts we are having here. Getting the point. And now, so along with that, we are having one more important concept here, map interface here. Getting the point. So the collection framework added another interface called map here. So along with the map interface and classes here. Map interface and classes here. So basically, the purpose of this particular map interface and we are store here value pairs here. So this particular map will store key value pair here. Getting the point. So this is also important here. How this particular key value pair we are going to store here. So how we are going to store this particular key value pairs here. Now, so these are the agenda of this particular collection framework here. So what we are going to discuss and what are the information which is available inside this particular collection framework. So along with that here, so as I explained, so 1.5, so some other changes are implemented. So what are the changes implemented in the 1.5 here? The changes here, first concepts here, generics here. Getting the point. In the 1.5, generic concepts is implemented. So after this, auto boxing and auto unboxing here. Getting the point. And for each, so we already discussed this particular for each loop here. We already discussed this particular for each loop here. So again, we'll try to connect this particular for each concepts here. How exactly these particular concepts are going to we can use inside this particular collection framework here. Getting the point. So 1.2 onwards, these are the classes are implemented. Later, they added this particular the concept like classes called linked list, hash set, and tree set classes. And after this, 1.5 onwards, some of the concepts are added. Generic concepts, auto boxing and unboxing. Along with boxing concepts here, we have another concept added for each style here. Getting the point. So these are the main concepts they introduced in the 1.5 onwards. And after this, so after this, so 1.8 onwards, so we already discussed here, the split iterator is added. We'll try to work on the 1.8 features, the comparator and split iterator, how those are we are going to work here. Okay. Now, first we need to work on the our collection information. So later we can go for the map here. So if you observe, collection is a one part. Getting the point. Collection is a one part and map is a another part here. First we are going to complete this particular collection and later we'll move on to this particular map section, because the collection will store the objects here, but map will store key comma value. Getting the point. So we'll see later this particular map related concepts here, because if we observe in the entire collection framework, we are having two concepts here. The first concept here collection and the second concept is called map here. Okay. So we'll try to connect with our collection first. So to connect with this particular collection, we are having the main interface here. Getting the point. We are having main interface, so something called collection here. Getting the point. So in the collection concepts here, we are having the main interface, something called collection here. So how we are going to define this particular interface? So let's see. So this is the keyword called interface collection, because we already discussed here. It is a generic interface here. If it is a generic interface, we already identified the type here. Getting the point. So instead of type, we are going to provide the elements here. All right. Now the syntax here we are going to define like this here. Name of the keyword called interface and name of the interface name here collection. So the collection interface will have some methods here. Getting the point. The collection interface will have some methods here. We'll try to understand this method concepts here, how each and every method is going to work. How each and every method is going to work here. Okay. And now what I want to provide here, this particular collection interface. So let me save this particular text file. I want to save inside this particular collection framework. Okay. So this is the interface we need to understand here. Let me open the particular collection interface. So again, now we can observe here the collection concepts, like whatever the collection in the collection framework concepts we are going to discuss. So those are available inside the package called java.util package. Getting the point? So java.util package. But in the last class, what are the concepts we discuss here? Those are in the different package, java.lang package. So see the package information, because so Sun Micro people, they divided into the concepts in the different packages here. So now we need to understand this particular collection class here. Okay, now observe here the package name java.util. Getting the point? So java.util here, and name of this particular interface here. Name of this particular interface, you can see collection here. So public interface collection. But now you can understand here, so which is extending iterable. Getting the point? So this particular collection interface is extending iterable here. Getting the point? Now we need to understand this. So what is the iterable here? So just now we discussed here, to get an objects one by one, we need to work on this particular iteration concepts here. So in that iteration concept, we are going to have one interface called iterable. Getting the point? So this is also one interface. So because of this particular interface, we are extending here. Getting the point? So this is the inheritance concepts here. This is the inheritance concepts here. So we need to understand the extends keyword here. So what is the purpose of this particular extends keyword? So everything we discussed regarding the inheritance concepts here. Okay. So don't confuse here. Getting the point? So don't confuse here. So how this particular extends keyword is going to work. Now observe here. First we need to understand this particular collection. Later we'll check for the iterable interface. What are the methods we are having? Okay, now you can see in the collection interface, the first method we are having size here. The first method we are having size. So can I know, like by seeing this particular method name, what you are understanding here? So by seeing this particular name of this particular method name, what you are understanding here? So what you understand regarding this particular method purpose here? So basically the method purpose here, now you can read here, so return the number of elements in the collection. So that now what we can understand here, how many objects we store inside this particular collection here. So we can understand here by calling the method called size here. So it will return the how many objects we store inside this particular collection class here. Getting the point? So this is the purpose of this particular size here. So this is very important here. Getting the point? So size method into size, and later another method here. So what is another method we are having here is empty. So now you can see the size method is returning into data type, and is empty method is trying to return the boolean here. Getting the point? So we are having unique behavior of each method here. So we are having unique behavior of each method. So now you can understand here is empty. So basically this particular is empty method will return whether this particular collection is empty or not. If we store any object here, it will not return true. Getting the point? So it will return false here. In the collection class, if I am not having any objects here, it will return the True here. So we'll see the implementation section here because just it is a declared in our collection here. Just it is declared in our collection interface. So we need to focus on the implementation part. So we'll see because collection is a interface here. Collection is a interface here. So we need to focus on the implementation classes here. So to understand the each method, how the each method is implemented, now what we can do, we can go for the implementation concepts here. Okay, now you can see contains method. So contains method also it's trying to return the boolean here. Getting the point. This particular contains method also will return the boolean data type here, and this particular method is expecting object to O. Getting the point. So this particular method is expecting object to O. So why this particular contains method provided as a object to data type here? So why they cannot provide the integer or why they cannot provide the double? Getting the point. So why they provided here object as a parameter? So any idea? For this contains method, they provided one parameter, so which is expecting object as a parameter. Why they did not provide int or long or double or any custom object here? So think and let me know why they provided object as a parameter. So because collection is a number of objects. Yes. So basically here, what? So searching for the particular object here. Now if you understand here, if I'm going to create any custom class here, what happens internally? So the custom class or the predefined classes are by default is extended from the object class here. So if I'm going to provide here instead of object here something called the int object or the long integer or the long data type here, what happens internally? So we are making tightly coupled with this particular contains method. I cannot change the, getting the point, I cannot change the another data type here. So now this particular object class explicitly or implicitly is extending for all the classes here. Whether you are going to create the predefined class, like whether you are going to use the predefined class or you are going to use the any custom class here. So all the classes, this is our super class here. So because of this particular super class, so they provided as a parameter object here. Getting the point. So this is very important here. So you cannot understand here. So what kind of the objects we are going to get, like what kind of the object we are going to pass to the this particular method. Now what we can do, we can define the object parameter as a object to data type here. Getting the point. So that we can convert into the appropriate data type here. Right? So we'll see. So using, we are having one keyword called instance of. So using the instance of keyword, we'll try to convert the same object into the particular type here. Okay. But here we need to understand. So they cannot understand the contains method will store. So what kind of data, getting the point, at runtime here. So in that case, now what we can do, we can define the object as a parameter. And now we need to understand the purpose here. So what is the purpose of this particular contains method? So basically, now you can read here if this collection contains the specified element here. So specified elements is nothing but if the basically this contains method we are going to call from the with the help of the collection reference here. Getting the point. So with the help of this particular collection reference, and so what we are going to write here, we are going to specify the one object as a parameter. Whenever we are going to specify the object as a parameter, what is doing internally? So inside this collection, so it's going to check whether this particular the specified element is available or not. Getting the point. The specified element is nothing but we are going to provide the parameter whatever the object we created here. So whatever the object we are going to check here, so the specified the object we are going to call it as a specified element, and which is available inside this particular collection or not. Getting the point? So which is nothing but what we can understand this particular method purpose here. So whatever the object we are going to pass, so the object which is resides in the particular class or not is going to check for this particular contains method. So if it is available, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false here. Getting the point? So this is the purpose of this particular contains method here. So this is very important. We need to understand here. So size method we identified, is empty method we identified, and contains method we identified here. So another method, iterator. So we'll see basically iterator is a method which is coming from our iterable concepts here. Basically using this particular iterator method, now what we can do, we'll try to repeat the elements one by one. Getting the point? So we'll try to repeat the elements one by one. So we'll see how we can get the element one by one with help of this particular iterator method. Now iterator method is trying to return iterator. Iterator is a one interface. Iterator is a one interface. Again you can see, so which is resides in the java.util package. Java.util package here. Okay. The name of the method iterator. So what is the purpose of this particular method? To get an object one by one, we'll try to call this particular iterator, and we'll get an one by one object here. Okay. Now observe another method here. ToArray. So in the previous section, we already identified here char array. So the char array, it's trying to return the string object into the char array. The string object into the char array. Same way, whenever we are trying to call this particular toArray, now you can see, so it's trying to return the object array. It's trying to return the object array. So if we want to work for the any arrays concepts here, now what we can do, we can call this particular toArray, and the objects are will converted into the objects array. The objects are will converted into the objects array. Right. So this is the purpose of this particular toArray method, and we'll see the implementation of each method, how each methods are implemented here. Observe. So this is also same here, but this is the method which is trying to providing generic type here. Getting the point? So this method is providing generic type here. So now whatever the arrays we are going to provide, the type of arrays here, the same type of array we are going to return here. So this generic concepts we already discussed in the previous section here. Now what you need to understand here, type here. So they provided the type here, and whatever the type we are going to provide as a parameter, we are trying to return the particular type array. But here only the difference here, so it will return the based on the type of object, but the above method will return the object array. From the object array, we need to convert it into the specific data type, but here, so we cannot convert here. So because of this particular generic concept here, we are not going to convert here. Okay, and so what is another method? So basically this is also same. So now you can understand here default method. Carrying the point, we already discussed this particular default to behavior when we are trying to discuss with our functional interface and default methods, static methods. We already identified the concepts called default methods here. So this is a default method called toArray, and which is expecting one into function array is nothing but integer related information we are going to provide, and again we are trying to converting into the internally we are calling toArray method. So the toArray, just now we discussed the purpose of this particular toArray, right? So along with this particular
apply method in generator?
Sorry?
Apply method on line number 381. Generator.apply.
So again, So this is the int function we are calling the apply method. But now, so we need to understand the internal concepts of this particular apply method. Basically, we are passing here integer like interface reference here. So we are calling the interface method here. But so what I will do now, you can see apply method here. So after completion of this particular collection methods here, we'll try to understand how this particular apply method is implemented, because this is the end function is our functional interface. So now you can see the purpose of this particular int function. So it will try to handle the int value related information. Now you can read here, it accepts the int value arguments here. Getting the point. So same way we are going to have different functions here for the double and long. So these everything concepts are introduced in the 1.8 onwards here. These are the 1.8 methods here. Now you can read the package is different here. So because of that, I did not provide the much information into function. So this is not the most usable, because we are not going to work for the only the integer related information here. So we'll try to work on the different concepts here. Basically, we'll try to get an object in the zero index location. What are the objects we are having? So those we are going to load. Now you can see there is no implementation concepts here. Only the interface related information we are getting. So we'll see how this particular apply method will call by calling this particular two array. So at the time of calling the two array, we'll try to understand how the apply method will call. Okay.
So every functional interface has apply method.
Yes. So the purpose is same, but let's see. So double function. Inside this particular double function, now you can see since this is coming from the 1.8 and it is a functional interface, the functional interface will have only one method, and now you can see apply method. But here the problem which is expecting double value. So this particular apply method we cannot store other than this particular double. So we'll have the particular each primitive data type. They introduce the one function here. The name of the function is going to open with our primitive data type. Okay, so these are about the default method we'll see, but we need to focus on the unimplemented method, because the default method already implemented in our interface concepts here. So the default method information we can see only by calling the method here, and how the methods are functioning internally. We can see after seeing this particular unimplemented method. Okay, observe here add e. Getting the point. So this is very important here, add method. Getting the point. Now, what is the purpose of this particular add method here? If I want to add any object into our collection, we are going to call this particular add method here, and which is expecting e here. So what is the e here? Here basically e is our generic type here. Getting the point. While creating this particular collection here, we are going to provide the appropriate generic style here, so that the same object is going to expect here. The particular same object is going to expect here when we are trying to call the add method here. And what is the purpose of the add method? If I want to add any element into the collection, we are going to call this particular add method. And now you can see, so this particular add method is returning boolean here. This particular add method is returning boolean. So now what you are understanding here? So if the add method is returning false here, now we can consider the object is already added into the collection. If it is returning true, so it is added newly object here. So it is added new object information here. Getting the point. So this is the purpose of this particular add method here. So otherwise we can read. So somewhere they provided so returns true if this collection is changed as a result here, and return false if the collection does not permit the duplicates and already contain the specified element here. Getting the point? Now you can read this particular statement. We can understand the purpose of this particular add and return type of this particular add method here. Getting the point? If the duplicates and duplicate is nothing but the object is already contains here, it will not going to add. Simply it will return false here. It will return false here. Right? If I am going to add new object here, it will try to return the true here. So this is all about the purpose of this particular add method. And so we are going to have the same add method. We'll try to understand the another add method here. So remove method. Again, the remove method here they're providing as a object here. So it is the purpose it used to remove the object from the particular collection here. So we don't want to discuss more about the particular remove method. Now you can see contains all method. Getting the point? So contains all method. And here we identified here. So here the wildcard parameter here, because we already discussed the generic concepts here. So the purpose we already identified here. If I'm going to provide the type and what are the drawbacks we identified, and with the help of this particular wildcard parameter, how we are going to get the some advantage compared to the type parameter here. So now you can see the contains all method they're expecting as a interface here. Basically collection is a interface here. See here java.util collection. Getting the point? So whatever the interface we are discussing here, so they provided as a parameter the same interface reference here. Why they provided interface reference here? Because so this is the main interface which is going to connect to the all the sub interfaces or the implementation classes here. So because of that they provided as the main interface reference as a parameter here. Okay. Now we need to understand the contains all purpose. So what is the purpose of this particular contains all here? Getting the point? So here whatever the collection object we are going to pass, whatever the collection object we are going to pass as a parameter, we are going to check whether the parameter collections are available inside this particular the current collection or not. Getting the point? Whatever the collection we are going to pass, the collection we are having inside this particular current collection or not, we are going to check for this particular contains all method. Okay. So just we are checking whether this particular collection of objects which are available inside this particular collection or not, we are going to check here. So this is only the purpose of the collection all method. Right. Now we'll see another important method. We'll try to understand the another important method here. Add all. Getting the point? Add all here. So now we can understand here. So this is we already discussed here extends keyword here. In the generic concept we already discussed the extends keyword. Here we are providing the wildcard parameter, because now see the condition. So whatever the object we are trying to pass here, the object it should extend with this particular E. Getting the point? So whatever the object we are going to pass, so it should be extended to this particular E. So E is nothing but the element here. So whatever the element we are going to pass while creating our collection objects here. Getting the point? While creating this particular collection object here, so we are going to provide the appropriate element here. Getting the point? So whenever we are trying to call this particular add all method, we need to understand this particular condition here. The condition here, and here they are providing collection interface. Here they are providing the type here. Getting the point? They are providing the type, and along with the type we are having some condition here. So these two are the very important here. whenever we are going to call this particular add all method by passing this particular parameter here. Getting the point? So basically, what I want to provide here, so any collection we can provide the information, but here, so by default, it needs to extend it from the E. E is nothing but the particular element it needs to be extended. So we'll see this particular parameter information whenever we are trying to call this particular add all. But now we need to focus on the add all method. So what is the purpose of this particular add all method? Basically, it will try to add the all the elements here, whatever the elements we are going to pass as a parameter. Getting the point?
And we
So-
can able to pass the two values like a string and integer. Can we able?
Okay, don't worry as of now. We'll see. So once these particular methods are completed, so whatever the queries you are having, we'll see by practically whether we can able to add or not.
Okay.
Okay, and back to here. So this is the purpose we already identified. So the purpose here, we can add all the elements into the current collection here. So if it is newly object we are trying to add, it will return true. So the same objects are already existed into the add all like current collection here. So it will, this add all method will return false here, because again we are trying to add the duplicate elements here. Getting the point? So this is the main purpose of this particular add all method here. Only the difference here, add method we are going to add only one element. Add all method we are going to add multiple elements here. So this is the basic difference between add and add all. So we can understand here remove all here. By specifying the collection as a parameter, we can remove all the objects from the current collection here. So this is the purpose of remove all here. Right. And this is the default method. Basically, the default method we will see after completion of our the unimplemented methods here. Remove if here. We'll see later the default implementation. So retain all here. Basically, the retain all is going to check whether any collection is so it's not linked to the previous elements here. We are going to return so those elements here. Okay, now you can see this particular retain all method is going to implemented based on the implementation class is different here. Now you can see, so this particular method, the purpose here, so in this collection that are contained in the specified collection. Getting the point? So now understand here, whatever the parameter we are passing here, getting the point? So whatever the collection of object we are going to pass to this particular method parameter, what it will do internally? So it's going to checking, like it's going to checking the condition here, whether the parameters elements is available or not. Where it is available? In the current collection here. Getting the point? Whatever the parameter we are passing, the parameterized collection, whether the parameterized collections are having into the current collection or not, it will identify by the method called retains method. If it is available, it will return true. So otherwise, it will remove, like it will return the false here. Okay. So this is the information regarding the method, but how this particular method is implemented. Getting the point? How this particular method implemented, so that we need to focus more here. So whenever we understand the implementation code, we can easily understand the purpose of the method also. Getting the point? So just we need to understand the basic behavior of this particular methods, but each and every method we are going to see with the implementation here. So with the implementation, we can understand more clear here. So clear method. Basically, the purpose of this particular clear method will try to remove all the elements from the the current collection here. So you can understand here each and every method with the help of the objects only we are going to call. So there is no static method. So if you see, as of now, we did not discuss about the static method here. Getting the point? If it is not a static method, how we are going to call? With the help of the object. Getting the point? With the help of the object we are going to call. So now you can see equals method. The equals method in the previous calls also we already discussed here how this particular equals method is going to work. So hash code method. So this is also somewhat is important here. So based on the hash code, the objects are going to identify here. Okay, the hash code here. We'll see how this particular hash code mechanism is implemented. How this particular hash code mechanism is implemented here. Getting the point? So these are all about the basic methods which are available inside this particular collection interface. Now you can see, so this section of code is added from the 1.8 onwards. So this already we discussed here. So basically this is the newly added iterator here. Getting the point? So split iterator, this is added into the 1.8 onwards. So it will try to work on the same the behavior like how we are going to work on the iterator here. So we'll see the iterator concept we are going to discuss after completion of the core concepts in the collection framework here. Okay. So if I'm going to discuss the iterator concept, we cannot understand this time here. So this particular section of code we'll discuss later here. Okay. And this is the default method. So the default method also we can discuss later. We'll open this particular method and we'll try to work on the default method. Now you can see stream concepts here. We'll try to understand this particular stream concepts also, but after completion of our basic collection concepts here. So now you can see this is the default method implemented. This is the default implementation method here. Okay. And with the help of this particular stream support, they are trying to call one more stream here, and they are specifying the split iterator. Again, they are calling the iterator method here. With the help of that, we are trying to calling the stream method. Okay. So we'll see the default method in our upcoming classes here. So one is a stream and another one is a parallel stream. Okay. So around we are having 4 or 5 default method. We'll see each and every default method after completion of the core concepts here. Okay. Back to here. Now, what are the main methods we are having? So the first one we identify, this is the interface creation. This particular interface is extending, which is coming which is extending from the iterable concepts here. Again, iterable is one of the iterator concepts here. Okay. So back to here, the size method. The purpose of size, we can easily understand how many elements we are storing into this particular collection interface. So anyone having any questions regarding this particular methods here? So just a basic understanding here. We need to know the purpose of the method here. The implementation we can see later, but so why we are going to use this particular method, that we need to understand first. Let me know if anyone having any questions regarding this particular methods here. Okay. Observe here. So this is the main interface called collection, and we need to focus on the sub interfaces here. So what are the sub interfaces we are going to have? Cutting the point. The sub interfaces we are going to have list here. The second interface we are going to have list here. So let me open this particular interface called list here. So in the list interface, how this particular the syntax are implemented here. How these particular syntaxes are implemented, we need to understand here. And the second interface called list. Again, we are going to have element here, and which is going to extends from the collection, which is going to extend from the our collection here. Getting the point. And we need to understand the behavior of this particular collection. So it will store the sequence of elements here. Getting the point. And the list interface elements, like how we are going to insert it or how we are going to access here. So those are going to access based on the position here. Getting the point. So using this particular list interface here, with the help of the position, we are going to insert the elements and we are going to load the elements here. Right. And here, so these may contain the duplicate elements also. So this particular list will duplicate like a duplicate elements. And so as we discuss here, so this is the generic interface here. Getting the point. This is the generic interface here. If I'm going to provide this particular list interface here, observe here list here. So this particular interface we need to discuss. So list is available inside the package called java.util here. So if I'm going to open this particular list interface, now you can see, so which is extending from the collection. Which is extending from the collection. Getting the point. So whenever it is extending from the collection, again we need to think about our inheriting concepts here. Because so collection we discuss here. The inside the collection we are having some of the methods. So those methods available into the list interface or not. Getting the point. So whatever the methods so far we discuss here, so those methods which are available into this particular list interface or not. So those methods will available into the list interface. But why again the list interface introduced here? Why this particular list interface introduced here? Because so as we discuss here, the list interface concepts here, so it's going to insert it or is going to load the object based on the positions here. So how we are going to access the positions here? So that we are going to understand here, right? And so using this particular list interface, we can store duplicate elements also, and this is the generic interface here. So again, we understand this is the generic interface. Okay. Now we'll try to understand what are the specific methods we are having inside this particular list interface, because we are going to have some common method which are coming from the collection interface. Let's see. The size method we already identified. IsEmpty method we already identified. Contains method also we identified. Iterator also we identified here. So toArray also we identified. Getting the point. Now we can see, so this particular generic toArray method also we identified, which is coming from our collection interface. Getting the point. So add method. This particular add method also is coming from our collection interface here. So remove method, contains method, and contains add all also we identified, which is coming from the collection interface. But this method is a specific method to the list interface. Getting the point. So this method is a specific method to the list interface here. Now what you are understanding is, so if I'm going to copy this particular method, because add all method already we identified, add all method. Now you can see add all method. So if I'm going to copy here, now you can see, so what is the difference we are having here? What is the difference we are having here? So the type of the method is returning same, name of the method also same, and now you can see collection extend E, everything is same. Collection extend C, but only one important we need to understand here, into index here. So one more parameter is added here. So one more parameter is added here into index here. Correct the point. So why this particular parameter is added here? So that we need to understand here, because the add all method purpose is whatever the collection object we are going to pass as a parameter, The collection object we are going to store into the our current collection of objects here. Getting the point? Because the add all method is a instance method, it is not a static method. So this particular object, getting the point? This particular object, like this particular method, we are going to call from the with help of the object here. So wherever, like based on the which object we are going to call, so these parameters, like this particular collection objects, are going to store into the current collection objects here. Okay, but only the difference we need to focus into index here. Here now, based on the index location, getting the point? So based on the index location, we are going to store the collection of objects here. And here, the first parameter we are going to specify the indexes. So whether we can store into the 0, 1, 2, 3, some. Based on the index location, we are going to store. Getting the point? So because of that, I explained here. So this particular list interface, so is going to work on the insertion and loading an object based on the position. The position we are going to specify as a index here, right? So this is the another method which, like, this is the specific method which is implemented in our list interface. Okay, so back to here, another method we need to understand. So removal, there is no removal also is coming from the collection interface. Now understand here retains all. So retains also is coming from the collection interface here. So this is the like a default method, replace all. Basically, so replace all is nothing but we are trying to work on the so based on some condition we'll try to replace all the elements here. So we'll see how this particular replace all method is going to work. This is also default method, sort method. So sort method. This particular sort method is introduced in the 1.8. We'll see how this particular sort method is going to work. Basically, I'm going to provide 1-2 classes. So very briefly, like how the each and every method we are going to see. So remaining the purpose of the each class we can discuss here. So that you can understand whenever you are going to open any implementation code, you can easily understand the purpose of each method here. Okay. So back to here, the sort method also we will see the clear method, which is coming from the collection, equals method, hash code method, and get method. Basically, this particular get method is not this particular get method is not added into the collection interface. This particular method is added into our list interface. So now, what you are understanding here? So by seeing this particular method, get method, now what you are understanding here? So here we are going to specify parameter. The parameter we are going to provide as a index here. The parameter we are going to specify as a index here. So based on this particular index here, now what we are doing here? We are trying to load an object here. But you can see the return type we are having E. Getting the point? So because like before discussing this particular collection, so we understand the generic concepts here. So it is easy to understand the purpose of each method here. It is used to understand the purpose of each method, how it is implemented here. Okay, back to here, get method, the purpose here, we are going to provide the position value, and we are going to get an object here. So we'll specify the position value, we'll get an object here. So this is the purpose of this particular get method. And here, one more method we are having, set method. Now, seeing this particular method, we are understanding here, first parameter we are having index here, and the second parameter we are having element here, and element is nothing but object here. Getting the point? So whatever the object we want to store, so that one we are going to pass as a second parameter. But observe here, So this particular set method is trying to return E. So here, this is important here. So whatever the element we added, getting the point, whatever the element we added, the type of element we are returning here. Getting the point. So whatever the element we added, the type of element we are trying to return from the set method. Getting the point. So see the difference here, because we already discussed the add method. The add method returning Boolean value, the set method returning the current object, the current element here. Getting the point. So this is very important. Very important. We need to understand here, because you may get some logical questions point of view. If I want to understand whether the object is already stored into the collection, or how we are going to understand into object or not. So we can call it as a add method. We can understand the add method will return true or false. And if I want to return the current object after inserting the collection object, we can call for the set method. So the set method, it will try to return the, after adding the element, the current element will return here. Right. So this is the set method we are having here. And now you can say one more add method. Getting the point. So one more add method. This particular add method is not returning anything. It is a void method. But the parameters we can understand here, which is having two parameters here. But now you can see this particular add method, we are having only one parameter. We are having only one parameter, but in the list interface, we are having two parameters here. In the list interface, we are having two parameters. Now you can see, so this is the first parameter we are having position. The second parameter we are having element. Now what you are understanding here, when we are trying to discuss with the list interface here, now you can see, so any method, like whatever the method so far we defined, like we identified here, all the methods we are having position parameter. Getting the point. Now what you are understanding here, this particular list interface, so is going to work on the positions here. So without the position, the list interface cannot implement here. Okay. So again, you are going to have a question. But here, what about this particular method? What about this particular method? Because this particular method does not have any positions here. Right? So we'll see how these particular methods are implemented. The collection methods are implemented here. Okay. So back to here. Add method we discuss here, remove method. So this remove is the different. Getting the point. This particular remove method is different. So far, whatever the remove method we discuss here, so this particular remove method is different. Now you can understand here. So here we are providing the position and whatever the removed object we are going to get. But here we need to specify the object and we are going to get a Boolean value. We are going to get a Boolean value. So see the difference between the collection class, the collection interface method as well as list interface method. We are going to have some differences here. But now, so we need to understand these are the implementation and as well as, so these are the implementations here. Right? Okay. So back to here, the remove method purpose here. So it will try to remove the object from the particular collections here. So index of. So this particular index of we already identified. So caret method. When we are trying to provide the character, it will try to return where the character is resides here. So same way, if you want to find out the object here, where this particular object is located, in the which position the object is located, we are going to get from the index of method. Index of method. Carrying the point. Same way we identified the same index of method in our string classes. Index of and lost index of. These are the two methods we already identified in the previous examples, previous class example. So same way in the list also we are having index of to find out the object is resides in the which position. Okay, now you can see lost index of. Lost index of. So to find out what is the lost index of this particular object. If it is a duplicate object here, we may get different last index position. And list iterator. This particular list iterator will discuss after completion of the base concepts here. Right. And now you can see the list iterator, it is a overloaded method because the first method is not expecting any parameter. The second method is expecting a parameter. Right, is expecting the parameter. Now we need to understand the difference between these two methods here. We need to understand the difference between these two methods, how these two methods are going to implemented here. Okay, we'll try to understand the, because these are the iterator concepts here. After completion of the basic concepts here, we'll try to move on to the iterator concepts here. Now sublist here. So sublist is nothing but, if we understand the our string concept, substring method. So substring method. So what it will do, the particular substring method. So based on the from index and to index here, correct the point. Based on the from index and to index here. So between how many string characters we are having, we are creating, like we are copying into the another string here. So same way, this particular sublist also, based on this particular from index and to index here, it will try to create a one more collection, like a collection object, and it will try to return the list type here. So first time we are seeing here the current interface type here, the current interface type here, cutting the point. So this is the purpose of this particular sublist here. So name of the method itself, it gives you some information here, but only we need to understand here how the names are configured. How the names are configured, because in the real time, if I'm not understand, like if I'm not to recapture the names, so you cannot implement any applications here, cutting the point. So because of this, we need to focus more onto the methods here. If you understand the particular method, so we can write any example. Right, so back to here the sublist method. So it will try to create a one more collection of object based on the from index and to index here. So these are the default method. So split iterator will try to discuss later concepts here, and this is available from the 9 version. So most of the time, like we don't have here. So these are implemented in the 9 year. Okay. So up to 1.8 we can discuss here. So how this particular object we are going to have. So this is all about the list interface methods here. So see the like a specific method we are having around so 9 methods here. Around 9 methods we are having. So we need to focus more onto this 9 methods along with our this particular common methods. These are the common methods. So here what I want to provide the information. So in the list interface here, like the particular list interface is going to throw some exceptions here. So it's going to throw some exceptions. The exceptions we already discussed in our exception handling classes here. Let me see what are the exceptions that are going to throw. Now you can see index out of bound exception. Index out of bound exception. In the previous example we had discussed here, string index out of bound exception. So why we are getting it? Whenever we are having the range, getting the point, when we are having the range offset and getting the point, offset and length we discussed in the last example. If it is matched here, we are going to throw an exception here. So same way, so if this particular, while removing this particular object here, so we may get an this particular exception. And now you can see this is also another exception, unsupported operation exception here. Unsupported operation exception while removing this particular object here, getting the point. Now you can see, so each method it's going to throw different exceptions here. Now you can see add method. The add method also it's throwing an index out of bound exception, so illegal argument exception, null pointer exception, class cast exception, and unsupported operation. So this particular method, it may throw these many exceptions. It may throw these many exceptions here. Getting the point. Now we need to understand how we need to handle these exceptions here. how we need to handle these exceptions also. Getting the point? So when we are trying to discuss each method, so we'll try to read this particular message information and we'll understand here how this particular exceptions are going to handle. So most of the exceptions are runtime exceptions. Getting the point? Most of the most of the exceptions are runtime exception. So we don't want to use try catch block. Getting the point? So this is all about the one more interface called list interface here, and with some methods here, and we need to discuss about the another interface here. So this is very important here. Getting the point? This is also very important. The another interface called set. Set also generic interface here. Now understand here, the set interface is available in the same package java.util. Now you can understand here, this particular interface is extending from our collection. This interface also is extending from our collection. Now what you understand here, what you are understanding is basically the diagram is going to look like this. So this is our main collection, and here we are going to have list interface, right? So this particular list also is going to extend from the collection, and here now we are going to discuss, now we are going to discuss this particular set. This particular set also is extending from this particular collection. Okay, so if any other class is extending, so we can define. Getting the point? So this is the diagram is going to look like when we are trying to work for the collection here, and this is the main interface. This is the main interface, and these are the sub interfaces. All the sub interfaces will have the common functionality into each and every interface. Okay, now we need to see any specific method we are having inside this particular collection set interface. So this is the set is extending from the collection. Now size method we already identified, isEmpty method, contains method, iterator method, and toArray. Getting the point? So toArray, this is a like a generic type toArray, add method, right? Remove method. So contains all. So basically what I want to provide, this set method does not have any own method. Getting the point? This particular set interface does not have any method. So whatever the method we are having here, all the methods are coming from the collection interface. Whatever the method we are seeing here, all the methods are coming from the collection interface here. Getting the point? So returns method, removal method, clear method, equals method, hash code method. So these are the Java 8 methods treated. So these also coming from the same. Basically in each and every interface, so the like Java 8 and Java 9 default methods are implemented here. Okay. So now you can see there is no specific method. So whatever the method we have seen so far, all are coming from our collection interface here. Getting the point? But why they introduced here? So if does not have any specific methods here, why this particular set interface introduced here? But here the purpose is different here. Getting the point? The list purpose is different and set purpose is different. This is we need to understand very carefully. Getting the point? Basically, this particular set interface, it will not allow duplicates element here. So this is very important here. This particular set interface, it's not going to allow the duplicate elements. If I'm going to add this particular duplicate elements here, how it's going to remove here? How this particular duplicate elements are going to remove. So we'll see with the implementation code how this particular duplicate elements are going to remove. And when we're calling this particular add method, it will try to return true. Every time this particular return will return true. right? So if I'm going to add any duplicate method, the add method will return false. So if it is a unique method, like unique element we are going to add, it will try to return the true. If I'm trying to add the duplicate object to information, it will return the false here. So this is the way we can understand here whether the duplicate object is stored or not, right? And we'll see how each and every methods are implemented. So this is all about the interface called set interface, and the set interface does not have any methods. So one more interface we need to discuss. So that is called sorted set. Getting the point? So that is called sorted set here. So this particular sorted set is extending from the set interface, and so it's going to provide the sorting order. Getting the point? If we want to work for the ascending order or descending order, now what we can do? We can go for this particular sorting set. Getting the point? We can define this particular sorted set here. Now we understand the purpose of this particular interface. What is the purpose of this particular sorted set? So this particular sorted set purpose here, it's going to provide whether the object we need to sort based on the ascending or descending order. So that we can understand here. Now if we understand here, if this sorted set is extending from the set interface, so in the set we don't have any specific method. So as of now, whatever the method we are having in the collection interface, so those are copied into the sorted set as well. But in the sorted set, we are going to have some common method, like specific methods here. So what are the specific methods we are having inside this particular sorted set? We need to understand here. So let me open this particular sorted set interface here. So sorted set. Now you can see the sorted set also available in the same package, java.util. Java.util. Now you can see, so which is extending from the set interface. Now understand the comparator. Here. Basically, comparator is a one method. So here, this is the special method we identified. So as of now, we did not discuss about this particular method. Now we did not see this particular method, the comparator method. Basically, it will try to return compare the elements based on some sorting behavior, and it will return after completion of the sorting. Basically, so what I want to provide, if we understand this particular comparator, so we can discuss more about the comparator method. Okay. So as of now what I'm doing here, I'm making this particular pending, recording this particular comparator method. We'll see. So after completion of the implementation classes, how this particular comparator will work. And we'll try to discuss the comparator with help of this particular comparator example. Later, the second method. So subset here. So subset is nothing but it is a sublist. How we identify the sublist here? So same way we are going to have subset here. Correct the point. We are going to have subset here. Now you can read here the information. So it will return the view of the set. So whose element range? Getting the pen. Whose element range? So from element and to element. Getting the point. So based on the from element and to element. So between the how many elements we are going to have. So based on those elements, it will return the one more set object here. So this is the purpose of this particular subset here. Getting the point. This is the purpose of our subset here. Okay, so back to here for the another method we are having. Now you can see get set method. basically this particular set method also, it will try to return the our sorted set object here, whose element less than the end. Getting the point? Whose element less than the end of the contained element. Observe the condition is important. So basically, when we are trying to discuss this particular sorted set, here we are going to have some, each method having the some different condition. Each method is having the different condition. Observe the condition here. Here we can read the condition. Now you can see, so it is also, it will return the portion of the set of elements here. So strictly less than the 2 element. Getting the point? Strictly less than the 2 element. Now what you are understanding is, and whatever the elements we are passing, whatever the element we are passing, so internally it point less than this particular elements, how many elements the condition is going to satisfy. So those elements is going to return by this particular set method. Getting the point? So this is very important here, right? So now we identify the subset method, and the second method, like third method, we are identifying set method. Only the condition here we need to understand so less than condition, right? We need to understand the less than condition. And after this, after completion of this particular set here, we need to discuss the tail set here. We need to discuss about the tail set. Now you can see what is the condition about this particular tail set. So greater than or equal. Getting the point? So greater than or equals to the from element. Greater than or equals to the from element here. So this is important. So what is the method we are having here? The method we are having tail set here. So see the condition we are having here, the tail set condition. So it will try to return the object information, so which are satisfied greater than or equals to. Greater than or equals to. Getting the point? So this is the purpose of this particular tail set method. If the condition is satisfied, how many elements the conditions are satisfied here, so those elements will return by this particular tail set here. Okay, so we'll see the implementation, how this particular methods are implemented. And here this is the specific method which resides in the sorted set, and what is returning it? So it will return the first lowest element currently in the set. Getting the point? So how the sorted set will understand the lowest element here? Getting the point? How, like, what is the mechanism they implemented to find out the lowest element from our collection of objects? Getting the point? So that we need to understand the first. So once we understand the lowest mechanism, we can easily understand getting the point? We can easily understand the sorting, like finding the lowest element here. In the lowest, we are going to find out the first element. The first element is going to return by this particular method called e dot, like first method. Right. And another method we are having here, last method. So it is working opposite here. Now you can see return the last, and here highest element in the sorted set here. Getting the point? And so we identify highest element here. So this is the split related information, and so this is the last one, right? We'll see later about this particular list. It was like a split iterator, but now, so these are the specific methods we are having. These are the specific methods we are having inside this particular interface called, which interface here? Sorted set. Getting the point? So this is very important, the method, because based on this particular sorted set here, we are going to understand how we can sort the element here. how we can sort this particular elements here, right? So this is so these are about the some of the interfaces we are discussing here, some of the interface we are discussing here, and so one more interface we are having here. So what is the another interface we are having here? The another interface we are having here, navigable set. So navigable set. So this particular navigable set also is a generic interface here, and which is going to extend from the sorted set, which is going to extend from the sorted set. Now what you are understanding here? Getting the point? So see the hierarchy, this is very important here. The set is extending set is extending from the collection, and sorted set is extending from the set, and navigable set is extending from the sorted set. Navigable is extending from the sorted set. So collection and set and sorted set, getting the point, and navigable set. So these are the hierarchy here. So from the collection interface method we are having the set, and the set does not have any specific method. So those are the common methods which are available in the collection, all copied into the set interface, and sorted set is having some specific method, cutting the point. All the specific methods and common methods which are available into the navigable set. So along with the collection interface method, sorted set method, and navigable set also will have some of the specific method. Some of the specific method. So we need to understand what are the specific method we are having inside this particular navigable set here. So the navigable set information we can discuss in our tomorrow class. So once the navigable set is completed, we are going to discuss the queue interface. Getting the point? Once we understand the queue interface, we'll discuss the one more interface here. We are having DQ interface. Getting the point? Once we completed the DQ interface, we are going to start the implementation classes. So what are the interfaces we are having pending in? So this is a navigable set, and after this interface, queue interface. So this is going to extend from the collection.
Sir, here C.
Yeah.
The Sir, DQ also like an interface, right?
Yes. So DQ also I'm trying to write here. Getting the point. So DQ also we are having one interface. We'll try to understand the DQ interface here. So but here the DQ interface. So this particular DQ is extending from the queue interface. Right. So these are the collection part interfaces concepts. Getting the point. So once we completed the remaining three interfaces here, so we'll try to understand so how each and every method is implemented, and what are the implementation classes, because the interface can contain multiple implementation classes. Getting the point? One interface can contain multiple interface like implementation classes here, because as of now we discuss most of the multiple interfaces. So maybe each interface is going to have different implementation. So we'll see one by one how each implementation classes is implemented. Okay. So any questions so far what we discussed here? Okay. So we don't have anything. So I'm going to stop the today class up to here. We'll continue tomorrow.